how it's going live on YouTube. And then I'll post the link in our chat. And then yeah, in just a few minutes. Or at least we got it on 2:30. That's not bad. I need to schedule like an actual day and time that I do this. I know that's one thing that'll help me out more by having it be like a timed podcast.
That time that you always do it basically on their time of the day.
Yes. Because as of right now, like it's just kind of unscripted. I just kind of go with the flow and how it feels. Especially getting to meet all these cool people. I try to be pretty flexible time wise. So, I just work with everybody else's time and just like, hey, when you're available, if you want to chit chat, and want to do a podcast, like, let's do it. But I think
the great about this organic, just getting into just being off the cuff.
Yeah, I do want to be a little bit more organized, but I think, for now, at least getting the content out on YouTube Space, which we are live right now, that is what it's important to at first for me, is like getting the information out there. So that way, the internet to me is like the blockchain, like it's pretty official. Once you get it out there, it's basically no scrubbing it. Like it's going to be in the, online in the digital space forever. So getting the YouTube videos up and getting the information is important. So that way, over time, as people get to see it and more people get interested in cryptocurrency, I'll always have these to fall back on and just have to do like updates, so that way, no matter what, the information's there. Like today, everybody's going to get to hear about you and LiteDoge, and, it's going to be on YouTube. So as popularity grows and more people get to know you and your project, you'll have a reference to all the newbies and stuff. And in the future, like people will really get to understand what this is about as, awareness spreads, and hopefully my YouTube channel grows.
Definitely. I would like to definitely get into in-depth to explain the project, and we can go over some stuff. I'm looking forward to it. We can definitely get into a lot of nitty gritty about what LiteDoge is about, where it started and where it's at now, basically.
Awesome. I posted the YouTube link into our chat so you can share it. I'm just going to share it around, and then after that, then yeah, we can get started, and we'll give our introductions and we'll start talking, man. I appreciate your time and you joining with me. I love doing it. I love chit chatting. So it's definitely a lot of fun to get to hear about all these cool new things happening.
Definitely love connecting and chatting too. So it's definitely works out, and definitely getting to go over what we both can learn about what's going on for my project. And even I can learn what's going on with you too a little bit.
How long have you been into cryptocurrency?
Close to around a little over 10 years now, since about 2011, I think. It's like, yeah, like right around when script coins were first coming out, and like some of the first Bitcoin clones were coming out. I got into crypto basically.
That's cool, man. So you're OG. I've been about 10 years now. I got started around like 2011, 2012. So it's very rare that, I meet people who have been in the space that long.
Yeah, I've been through a lot of the cycles. I know a lot of the markets, a lot of the coin projects. I have over 50 different wallets, even myself on my computer. Some are still active and some are completely dead. So it's like I've seen the ups and downs of many projects, and some exchanges getting attacked. I've seen everything, it seems like. Wow. Throughout the world with crypto.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Like, and that's where, like, for me too, like whenever all these things come up in the crypto space and everybody's like freaking out or whatever, I'm just like, clearly you weren't there like 8 years ago when all this crazy stuff, like, when the government shut down Silk Road. That was a big deal, because not a lot of people even know that or realize that, because of just that initial grab. We're not even counting anything else. Just from Silk Road, our federal government seized millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin back then. Can you imagine how much that's worth now? I mean, then that the government is sitting on. Then you talk about all the seizures afterwards.
Think about this. There's this one guy I just realized from Kryptic.com exchange. It was an old exchange back in the day. He basically went through a bitter divorce and basically took everyone's money and ran away to Russia with everyone's funds, and basically did a honeypot after everyone already had their exchange money on the exchange and couldn't get get the money out, and no one can find him now. So it's like who knows how rich he is now? No one can ever find him.
Yeah, the scam, man, it's been crazy, dude. Like, oh man. But I appreciate that, and people like you know, who know, because like there's a lot of people who just they don't know, you know, they only know what what's happening now.
Like with LiteDoge, I want to basically create how-to videos in English, Spanish, and Farsi, so people can understand how to set up their own LiteDoge wallet on their computer, if it's, you know, Mac, Linux,
That's cool.
or you know, or some other operating systems, and then they can understand that basically they're the controller of their own money. Basically, it's like, I think that's the real premise basically of like Bitcoin was going to basically be about. It's like removing the middleman, so you can understand to learn how to use money like you control your own thoughts basically at will. Basically, how you have complete control over your thoughts. That's basically your people don't, I think, quite grasp their head around with Bitcoin, is that you can completely control all Bitcoin wallet to the fullest extent, like you're however you want. But there's so many options, and some way you can make it as little secure or as secure as you want, and so many options. There's, you know, you want two connections or 50 or 100 connections to the network. You know, it's like you can do so many different things.
Right.
What people realize, it just gives you so many options once you really dive into it and understand, you know.
No, absolutely. And that's why, you know, especially like a lot of things where people freak out, like, oh, you know, Bitcoin was hacked today, and all these people had their wallet, had money, had a crypto stolen from their wallets. Well, it's like, well, no,
you like with Bitcoin, or even my wallet, it shows you can make your wallet as secure or as not secure as you want, as you learn about the wallet, basically.
Exactly. And then most of the time, you know, what happens is that, hey, some exchange, you know, was not opting out for the most security possible, and they got hacked. But the blockchain itself, you know, the technology behind Bitcoin, like, is essentially unhackable. Like, you can't, it's hard to really do things on that blockchain because of how just the nature of what it does, you know, like how that blockchain operates. So it's just funny, you know, like you said, with more education, people can kind of really, you know, be told and shown that, hey, it's the level of security is up to you, you know, depending on how you store your crypto, what type of wallet you use. Are you using an exchange? Is it public? Are they cold storing it? You know, do they have it on, like, right on a very basic, you know, wallet or whatever? Like, there's so many different layers to it, like you said, that you can, it's your choice of security level. Like, you can either have it be very secure.
I really need to like narrow down, and with the how-to videos where I'm gonna develop over the next couple months, as I get a new huge developer fund with the new side token I'm releasing with my main project.
Yeah.
I want to basically create some type of understanding, so people know how to use the wallet to at least some extent, either through, you know, a visual, because people either learn two ways, either through visual or through text and audio. So either one of those two ways, they need to learn the ways to operate and understand how to use the wallet. It's because it seems like people need some type of basic understanding, because that's the main issue. A lot of people are really new to the market and crypto in general. They don't understand any of the old school terms, any of the new school terms, any of the main cryptocurrency, Bitcoin economic or fundamental Satoshi terms. You know, these are all just fundamentals what people are eventually going to have to understand eventually. Like, what is it, like, it's one Satoshi versus, you know, having a bunch of Bitcoin, you know, the single amount, you know. I think that it's a lot for people to, I think, wrap their head around right now. I think.
No, you are 100% correct. I completely agree and believe that. And because everybody's so focused on what's happening now, like, oh God, the price is this amount, and people are making X amount of dollars. You know, same thing with NFTs. All people see right now are, oh, hey, this NFT sold for 1.8 million. Oh, hey, this NFT project was a scam. Oh, hey,
I think I literally just on the news, a fake pet rock. It's literally a bidding for $1 million.
Yeah, and that's all people hear about. But it's like, they're not talking about, like, hey, this is how you get a wallet to buy this NFT. this is what you can do with NFTs. You know, these are the people making NFTs, projects, like, you know, the real deal stuff and the education part and how to get involved. You know, everybody's making these posts today.
Kind of, maybe like NFTs is like the glitz and glamour of the blockchain. I guess to it's like almost to like flaunt off what you got in a way, it seems.
Absolutely, because it's just like that with crypto. You know, like right now, everybody's posting about, you know, all-time highs for Bitcoin, and the big topic and big thing that people put like, oh, if you bought this much Bitcoin back then, or if you used your $1,200 stimulus and you invested in it, it would be worth this. It's like, well, who really gives a shit, man?
There's a Twitter bot what calculates every day since if you would have bought the first stimulus, basically. Isn't that crazy?
It's yeah, I've seen that. But it's crazy because it's just like, who really cares about that? Because for most people, the idea of just, you know, investing is not really there for them. They want to know functionality. Like, hey, this is how you buy Bitcoin. You know, hey, this is where you buy it. This is what you do with it. You know, instead of just like, hey, this is how much was made. This is how much I made. This is how much you can make. You know, and that was a post I made today. Like, investing is cool, but that's not the way to onboard everybody. That's not the way to.
I noticed too, like people like feel good stuff like being brain coins. They like just using the coin, just interacting with the network in some way. It seems just that have something to do with it, basically.
Yeah, too. Exactly. So I think you're right. Redirecting all that to education is key. All right. Thanks for being patient. I got everything shared. Eventually, it'll be a little bit more streamlined and organized. But cool. This is. Yeah, I got it for us in the chat too for the YouTube, and then I tagged you on Facebook and on Twitter. So this is Kryptic Crypto, episode 7. We're gonna be talking LiteDoge. I'm Miggy Crypto, and I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself and kind of, you know, touch a little bit. The title is Litecoin plus Dogecoin equals LiteDoge.
Hey, well, I'm Shawn, and I'm basically an OG crypto. I've basically been part of the project in some way, shape, or form since its beginning. Basically, I used to run CPU miners on my old built computer I built myself, basically, and I basically in some way, shape, or form have been part of the project, voicing the help with changes for the hard fork, or helping with the forum, with or always being in like internet relay chat room where it kind of all started, basically. So it's like I've kind of always been a part of it, and there's been like so many different teams who've been a part of it, and I was the only one who stuck around and stayed the longest, basically.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited to have you on the show. I love just the name of LiteDoge, you know. So I'm a big fan of Litecoin, always have been, big supporter. I think you saw we just they hit the 10-year anniversary for the creation of Litecoin. Dogecoin I've always been a big fan of too. You know, a lot of people talk about the lack of utility for some things, but for some crypto, but for most of them, you know, just being a cryptocurrency is its only utility. You know, like I definitely believe that. A lot of people may not agree because they want more functionality or more utility created with it, but it's just like in the end, with all these different tokens and coins, some of them are just made to just be a currency, so they don't have to do anything. They just have to exist. So I'm super excited to see, you know, LiteDoge and get a chance to talk to you about that project. So you've been in the space, you know, from what you told me, man, longer than I have. You're definitely a crypto OG and very hard to come by. I've met a few people, you know, that have that amount of experience, but not very much. Most people that I talk to are like 2015 and up, which is still, you know, a great time of experience built up for sure. So when did you start this? When or what? I guess what got you inspired to create LiteDoge?
I got inspired to join the project just, I think, because the community was all of us inputting ideas and helping to create and shape the project, basically. So it's like we all had a part in it. So it's like we all wanted to see it grow and develop, and I think we all just wanted to do something kind of like Dogecoin, but do our own thing, basically, where it's like you're your own bank in a way. It's like you can gain interest, but you can also operate the wallet like a Bitcoin wallet, but it's also basically based on Litecoin. So it's not as like and it's not as, you know, it's more compatible because there's a lot of like miners, even on like Android apps. You can download like apps. Some of them are banned, but if you unlock your phone or some of these Android phones, you can still sometimes download these miners where they're script miners for Android, or you know, they have these pre-built miners still existing from like back in the day.
Yeah.
For like my coin and stuff, so people can still have access to these tools and stuff. So it's like I want to give people access to my network eventually to mine again. So people, if they don't have a bank or funds to get into the coins, they can still, you know, get access to the coins that way, or join in Discord by getting free coins through the faucet, or, you know, being rained on by me or by other community members, free coins being given away basically. So it's like there's always free ways to like earn the coins and learn and interact with the network, even, you know. So it's like I want to make it even more accessible by eventually enabling proof of work again, because right now it says proof of stake.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it shows that, you know, people need some type of access to basically have a way to understand and use the coin in some way without having access to a bank, basically, because they need to you know, get into access to the crypto world to basically be free from control from government or anyone, so they become their own sovereign person and they can understand how to interact in their own way with money, just like they interact with their own thoughts. And just so it's like it's empowering in every way, basically, you know.
No, I totally agree, man. And that's cool. I'll definitely have to check out some of those apps. No, that's awesome, man. And I think that's the big thing about, you know, cryptocurrency and the blockchain is just that level of self-empowerment, especially for those who understand, you know, how to code, how to program, tokenomics, all these different things that, you know, you can use to really build on these blockchains. So I'm a big fan, you know, like that was the thing that really attracted me to crypto in the first place, was just, you know, the use case of what you could do, and that empowerment, that is just like, wow, you know, like it's not just something that, yeah, people are going to make money with it, which is great. This is something that will like very literally change systems and how we use them and what we're using today, you know, to create more engagement on a peer-to-peer basis, less having to go through an intermediary or a third party, especially when you're talking about in a system that's very oppressive, you know, like the banking system, for one. Extremely biased, very oppressive. You know what I mean? The banks weren't created to help us. Not at all. Like, you know, they have their own functionality and their own you know, agendas, as far as you're talking about like the big central banks. You know, like, yeah. And so having other people control your money in a way that like, hey, you really don't have control. What's happening when you put your money in a bank, they're giving you access to your own money, but they can revoke that access. They can seize it, they can freeze it, you know, they can transfer it, they can do whatever they want as if it's sitting in their account. It's the bank's money, it's not your money. You just get access to it whenever they, you know, because they allow it. But had they, you know, the minute they change their mind, it's like, well, everybody that has their money in a bank can wake up tomorrow and not be able to access those funds.
It's funny that you're actually talking about this. There's actually a quote from someone from those families, basically said that you could have the stock market and your bank account change like a thief in the night, and all of a sudden for 1 or 2 weeks you wouldn't have access to your bank account. And so what would you do if you wouldn't have access to your bank account, like in the middle of the night? Like, it's like you really have to be prepared.
No, absolutely. I mean, nobody really thinks about it because majority of people are blindly trusting. You know, like we trust the banks, like they would never do that, right? They would never seize our money. They would, you know, like that's my money, you know, like I always have access to it. It's mine. I earned it. They can't take it away. And it's just like, oh, well, they actually can. And they totally would if they, you know, like if they had to, everybody, and they've done that. We've seen it happen in other countries where I don't like Greece or like you know, I can't even think, Argentina, places like that, where, you know, they had economic downfalls or market crashes. And so people go to
the huge a loan from the IMF, basically, is what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, like whenever there are times in history, I think even with our country where like, we had very big market failures. And so when people went to the banks during those times to try to take their money out, they weren't able to, like during the market crashes.
There's a term for that. It's called a bank holiday, basically.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. So like, we have seen examples like that has happened and, around the world where it's like, hey, something's happened with their economy. People got scared, went to go try to take their money out of the bank, and the banks said no. They said you cannot. And they gave whatever excuses they had to, but the reality of it was that they didn't have any money to give, or they didn't have enough. So it's like all that money that you gave to them, they don't have. And and they could very easily deny access to it. And so it's a scary thought, to think that for people who don't have a lot of wealth, it's not really a big deal. But to people who have massive wealth, like they're the ones that should be scared. Like for majority of them, they're not, because they think that having all that money, gives them ability of access to a lot of things. But it's like, if the government,
it's kind of crazy, like how I have it set up right now with my tip bot, with my developer friend who developed the main tip bot, what we use when it interacts with LiteDoge, it does the opposite of what you're describing. Basically, we have it.
That's
so
cool.
If you have Reddit, if you have internet relay chat through Libra, through Discord, Telegram, or even one other social media chat form, I think Matrix, I think it is. It's another like internet relay type chat room. It gives you a way to interact with the tip bot, which basically has our wallet loaded on. It's basically a fully loaded wallet with basically can stake, and it gives you a deposit address, and it gives you a way to fully use the wallet, even if you don't have a full computer or a way to access
That's
a
cool.
wallet. So it gives you a way to use the wallet without having to do a bunch of settings or configurations.
Right.
It's really easy use. So it's like it makes it really simple for some end users who don't want to have to take the time to understand this, need something quick and easy,
Right.
So it's kind of cool too, because it gives certain commands. If you do dot info, if you're in Telegram or in Discord, it will show all the main stats, like what block number it is, what the proof of stake difference is, what is very important. I watch that daily almost myself, watching what the number is on that. I keep a track on that because it's important for me since I'm the main developer. But most people don't watch that themselves. But I understand how that works and stuff. It's the same as the Bitcoin network, basically, with proof of stake. Basically, it's like the higher the difficulty, the harder it is to attack. The lower the difficulty, the easier it is to attack. So I have to keep a track of that myself, but most people don't. So it's a thing I don't have to worry about it myself with proof of stake. It mitigates pretty much 99% of all 51% attacks, which is very important. I don't really state that enough on my end, which I think I should.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
I think the one person who just joined my development marketing team from another country, he was trying to help me out, I think, when we were talking about aspects of my coin. That it can mitigate 51% attacks, and that it's actually faster than Bitcoin and Litecoin. Somewhat.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's awesome, man, that you got involved that way, because, very few people even today who have been involved in crypto space.
So how long does it take to confirm a block? Probably on Litecoin, probably 3 minutes or 4 minutes, I'm guessing.
Maybe I think is it 6? I think it might be 6 or 7 minutes. Well, I can't remember. I just saw on transfers, I don't know, maybe it's 6 minutes.
It's crazy. On my coin, we can confirm a transaction in about 2 or 3 minutes, basically.
Oh wow, that's cool.
How quick we got it. So the difficulty changes every block, and it's 64-second confirm time, basically. So with the block time, so it basically tries to confirm blocks almost within a minute, basically, but usually it's about 2 or 3 minutes.
That's cool. That's good. I mean, because I know that's something that is an issue for a lot of people, especially with those who think that Bitcoin's network is either too slow or however. And um, that's the funny thing about some who don't support altcoins. It's just they don't understand that, hey, some of these are very necessary, because they do
Some
have
of that
faster
right off the
transactional
bat
speed.
is like super necessary. I'm realizing that,
Yeah,
and I never really thought about that until just recently when talking with someone with the aspects of my coin, that actually it is faster right off the bat than a lot of other networks who they have to add second layer networks just to make their network, where I'm
right.
already fast right off the bat,
Yep.
so that you don't have to wait for transaction time. So there's no wait time almost for any transactions, and we have a set transaction fee, where Ethereum and Bitcoin, they don't have a set transaction fee, so it's a
Right.
random transaction fee.
Yeah, and
That's what
those
makes it
gas fees
dangerous.
are insane.
That's what makes it dangerous with Ethereum. Basically, there's no set transaction fee, so it's so random. So
It's
there's no
insane right
stability.
now. That's so crazy. Yeah, dude. The transactional speed, it makes a big difference. And even for, the
Although having
inexperienced
all
people.
that like right off the bat is important. If you change some of those variables too, it can also screw up a network too. So it's like
Uh,
all that has to be nailed down perfect too.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, that's definitely, those are things that, I'm not a programmer or developer, but I do understand the need for people like you to know about this and to do things and be proactive into helping this, because that's what the cryptocurrency world is about, and the blockchain being open source is to take what was given to us with that initial blockchain that created Bitcoin, and then improve on it, make it more efficient and make it faster, bring in other coins and alternatives, to help alleviate all the stress being put onto the Ethereum blockchain or Bitcoin. And so I believe in the end, using Ethereum and Bitcoin will be as collateral or leverage, and then we'll have smaller coins, altcoins like yours, that those will be the ones we use for micropayments, like Canacoin, as well. Like we'll be able to save Bitcoin and Ethereum, leverage that, and then use like Doge, Canacoin, Litecoin, all these other coins, in microtransactions.
Our network, we trade in the sub Satoshi amounts. What you can trade basically in the Dogecoin markets, what you can't really trade in the Bitcoin markets, where it's
Right.
cheaper. It's like basically below a penny market, where
Yeah.
it's like below what would you consider penny stocks. Like it's sub penny markets basically, where it's because you can't reach it with the Bitcoin price, but it seems like with the lower prices you're able to basically,
Yeah.
like you're talking about with the micro payments. So like, because like with the tip bot, we can do micro tipping basically, like what you're saying,
Hmm.
and we can also allow trading or easier amounts for
Yeah.
people to interact.
And that's super necessary. Like, I mean, they're making it work in El Salvador. You can buy coffee with Bitcoin, but it's just for the long run and for the big scale of it, that it just, I don't know how well that would work, if we only were all using Bitcoin. But having these derivatives, is such a big thing. It's like, same as having, you've got your $10 bills, $100 bills, you got quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies, all these different forms of currency that are still related on the same system, that would just give us a easier way to kind of break it down, so we're not just printing $100 bills all the time, or using $100 bills to transact with. And so I'm super excited that coins like this, like LiteDoge, I think will have a great future, because once more people get involved and see that the necessity of these types of currencies, especially altcoins, shitcoins, whatever you want to call them, people will get it. Like businesses will use these more for sure, especially like the more local. Like this is the type that, if you got a mom and pop shop and you want to get in crypto world, well, support these projects, support these altcoins and use them as currency, accept them as payments, pay people with it, because it's cheap, it's fast. And so what
Like
you're
I'll give you an example. Like with my project, I basically only own through the software license, the name LiteDoge and the ticker, and basically everyone can use and can apply to get a media pack to develop side projects to work with and interact with the LiteDoge network to expand the network. So it's like we all have different ways if you want to grow with with LiteDoge. It's the same way how kind of like how Bitcoin started to like give different resources and ways for people to interact and understand the network, basically.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Like I can't believe like, there's just so much coming out now, and I'm super excited, for the crypto future. So did you say when this started or when you launched this project?
I didn't. I joined
I
in
don't
the
know if I
mining,
have.
but I wasn't a part of the development team at first. But it started in 2015
Okay.
with no pre-mine, no like it was no ninja launch. It was just like a fresh launch for everyone to all mine at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
And it only had like 8,000 blocks, and it automatically switched to proof of stake, basically, and it shut off rewards and most of the mining for proof of work. But it's still the main network with powers proof of stake, basically, still to this day.
That's cool. And I like that, it has a little bit of longevity to it. Just because, I do appreciate the coins that have been able to, get on a little bit early, but are still working their way through. And that's like for me personally, like I don't like to invest in anything really new. Just because it's never really seemed worth it. Like I get, everybody wants those massive gains, but it's like, man, let me know when your project's been around for like 2 years. Then I'll invest. I don't care what the price is then, but it's just that longevity of even if it's not up and running in 2 years, but the fact that, hey, people are still actively working and growing on it to make sure that, hey, when this is like 100% official and ready, it won't, like crash or anything like that. So
yeah, I think that's kind of my goal, is that I don't want to eventually have to pay to run a block explorer. I want always people to run block explorers for the coin, and that people always want to keep it, even if I'm not around. They want to keep the network growing eventually, so it will just grow organically, even if I'm not the one leading the network. That's what my goal is eventually.
yeah,
that just kind of becomes its own beast, and it just grows on its own and just expands. That's what I
that's so
want.
cool. So what's the total supply for the coin that you guys have?
It's about close to 16 billion of the supply, so max supply of what coins that are available in dead wallets and people who are still holding. There's some big whales. Some people have like 400 million. There's some people who have like 10 million, but most people only have like 100,000 coins.
Yeah.
Most everyday users just have like dust, like 1 or 2 coins, or just point whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's funny you said this because there's a coin. I'm actually a community moderator for them, but there's a coin called Dust, or it's from the Magic is Dust Telegram and group, and they chat mine with it, so you get like fractionalized pieces of it, like you said, like 0.01. But when you said dust, that's what it made me think of. But so that's cool, man. I totally dig it. Like I said, I just love the name. Just the association between Litecoin and Doge. Is just, I think, a good way to brand it. So I guess, yeah, I don't know if you mentioned it before, but let's talk about the name and what that means. And kind of break that down a little bit, like you were for me, like you were telling me earlier.
Yeah. So we're basically a script coin, like Litecoin, based basically on the Litecoin coin base, basically. So we have the same type of proof of work script technology, basically, as Litecoin, and we have the same market cap type system in a way, almost as Dogecoin, with no market cap. So we have an unlimited supply, basically the same as Dogecoin. Basically, Dogecoin has no cap on its supply, and that's their marketing, basically. So they're almost, in a way, if you kind of think about it, it's almost like the Federal Reserve.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't realize. I always heard rumors, which I still stand by it. I don't have like any official documentation, but ever since Dogecoin came out, I always heard it was going to be used for like in-game type currency. So like having a market cap like that would make sense, but essentially, yeah, you're right. Like it's being unlimited kind of defeats the purpose as far as like investing or
Right.
trying to make money with it.
That's the point. I think I think what Dogecoin is trying to do, like what I want to do, we want to make it so there's coins available no matter what. If you don't have
Right.
money or not, you can still interact with the network. I think that's the
Right.
point. I
No,
think
I
that's
agree.
the end goal. And I think some of the core developers who are no longer with the Dogecoin team, they had that same type of mentality. What I still have, what I want for LiteDoge, basically, that even if you don't have proof of stake, we want to enable proof of work again. So people who have game developing skills and who already have, there's this like one network called game called Space Alpha, he has Dogecoin you can earn on the game, but he wants to add my coin, and he wants to add a couple other coins you can earn through the game itself, and NFTs also even.
That's cool. So do you plan on doing NFT stuff with LiteDoge?
I've already done 2 drops on OpenSea, and I plan on with the new token also with the side project on the Binance Smart Chain. I want to also, for people who maybe buy in like a certain amount, maybe they would get access to some free LiteDoge NFTs or something. I'm thinking maybe also down the road release also some old images for free as NFTs or something from the network, what it used to be around.
That's cool. Yeah, dude, if you do, or when you do, just like count me in, man. I definitely would like to.
Because it seems like people would like free drops, or like where they don't have to spend much, or if they can get like a just pay a little bit of wax. It seems like that'd be the best way to get people, at least so they can get in on it. So
yeah, absolutely. I think your coin honestly is perfect for onboarding, because that's one thing, I have heard to talk about, like you kind of like Dogecoin, where it's just having that utility of like, hey, this is the type of coin that anybody can get involved in at any level.
like it's kind of cool. Like on my tip bot with the coin, once you get in the Telegram, we have it so you can play a few games. There's like blackjack, and there's like a duck hunt game where you can do a duck call, and you donate, or you can get for free to try the command to see if you can get free coins. So it's like there's so many different ways you can play and interact to try and get stuff. So it's like that's what I want to just expand. I realized, and that's what Bitcoin was about: mitigating and spending, getting the coins out for everyone to use, basically, to interact with the network, basically.
No, that's cool, man. Like I think it's a great idea. And for sure, when you start also creating content, to educate people about your coin and everything, like I would definitely love to be a part of that. I love making content. I'm a big fan of helping, these projects like yours just kind of get awareness, and kind of just get eyes out there. So where is what is your wallet at, or where would you find a wallet for LiteDoge?
Either on CoinGecko, you can find all of our social media links, or Coin Paprika. Those coin market cap sites, they're updated with all our social and wallet links, or you can go on LiteDogeofficial.org.
That's where I'm gonna share the screen. We're gonna look at that right now. Cool. Yeah, no, man, I definitely would love to help, create more awareness for this, and love the logo. So cool, such speed. That's dope. And it's fun, like, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people like about these communities. It's fun, it's fun to connect with people and have fun with crypto. Like, it's cool to make money.
That's what's important.
Yeah, exactly.
More than anything, it's about community. So I basically, with my Discord chat, I made sure to agree with all Discord community guidelines. I don't allow any cussing. I basically created a policy, private policy. I don't hold people's users' data. I ban people who try and cuss or attack members. So I try and keep it very clean for family members, so anyone can join to have a clean interaction in the chat, so they can understand, and that no one's, and it's a safe environment. I'm trying to basically make it so it's catering to, anyone basically can join what I'm trying to do, I think.
That's so cool. And that's how it should be, like that was one thing that attracted me, to Bitcoin and everything in the first place, was just the blockchain and the level of community.
Like a little too opinionated, and I'm realizing it's like it's really hard, because you have to really almost baby chat rooms nowadays, because some people get really, they want to become keyboard warriors and don't realize you don't need to be opinionated. Everyone needs to like back off. Everyone has their own version or level of learning skills and where they're at and understanding. So everyone just needs to back off, I think, and let people learn on their own level. I realize, especially with like chat rooms, people get really heated, so it's hard to deal with a lot of stuff at the same time. So it's like you really have to like be on top of things, it seems, with
Right.
crypto, with the community and crypto community in general. It's like you really do have to foster community. It seems so important.
Absolutely, especially because it is a emerging community. It's very small in comparison to everything else. And the thing about, like you said, kind of protecting the community is that it's online. So people online, like, you just said it great, the keyboard warriors, like there's plenty of trolls and plenty of keyboard warriors out there. And so interacting, in the online community is can be sketchy, you know what I mean, or tedious having to deal with people like that. So I like that, promoting more community with the crypto aspect, I think is good, because for me that's what aligns, with the whole idea of what blockchain is and what it does, is that it enables a positive growing community. And so everybody that I've been able to interact with and be involved with, especially online communities, majority of people who are, you know truly informed about the blockchain and cryptocurrency, like those are like the kind of people I feel like, you'd want to associate with, because everybody that I've met is in the same mentality. And so, like you said, you kind of have to weed out, the bad, not necessarily the bad ones, but the people who aren't there to promote community.
Or it's like you just have to inform people. It's like you can't vocalize your opinion on other people so much, because everyone has their own level of understanding and learning. I think what's hard. I think.
Yeah, no, exactly. Everybody's learning at a different scale, at a different rate. So having to foster those relationships and cater to those who are experienced, and then also to those who are not experienced, like it can be some work, man. Like I'm definitely with you on that, because that's a big focus of mine, is building that community, enabling, a space for all levels, especially more so catering to the people who are brand new, who need a little bit more education, because I don't feel like there's enough people focusing on that. There's not enough people focusing on like what you're doing is that, hey, let's promote these projects who are all about bringing in the masses, because even a lot of the focus now can be very exclusive, like the investing part, like, yeah, it's great, talk about investing Bitcoin, all this stuff, but it's, 95% of the world are not investors. They're just everyday normal people. And a lot of them can't afford to invest. Like with the stimulus check thing, a lot of people didn't have the luxury of just putting that $1,200 in Bitcoin and letting it sit. A lot of people needed that money. They needed to pay their bills. They needed to live, eat. So it's just like you're missing a whole part of the community with that type of engagement, because it's not going to connect with everybody. Not a lot of people can connect with that. Like, hey, yeah, I would have loved to just shove my $1,200 into Bitcoin and not touched it, but I needed it to pay my car note, to pay my insurance, to eat every day.
Right,
and so yeah, to live. And so for me, it's like that. To me, that's what connects to people, is bringing that real world application to the crypto space. Like not just talking about it. Yeah, if you spend this much money, then, or if you invest now, which is like some people will never have that luxury until the blockchain is the major financial system, like cryptocurrency. A lot of people will never have that luxury of just taking a little bit of money and sitting on it. A lot of people don't have a savings and never will. Even until recently, I've never really had the ability to save money. And it wasn't just for the fact that I wasn't educated on how to or disciplined enough. It's just, I needed to pay for things and live every day. So as I've found out most recently, interacting more in the crypto community has allowed me to do a little bit of actual saving. Like I'm just now depleting my crypto funds that I've been living off of for like the last 6 months. So I, I appreciate that aspect of it, because for me, that's what people will connect to. That's what will get people involved. Like that's what we need, because some people need to know how to do that. They need to know how to buy LiteDoge and spend it on stuff. They need to know how to, have that money but not really invest it, but just to use it for, the functional purpose of it. So I think
we don't advertise, but we do also have it so people, if they're in the faucet chat room, they can set up a trade through the tip bot, but it has to be within the first 5 minutes. We don't normally try and advertise peer-to-peer trading unless it's done right, but it is available. I think with this strategy, we try and make it so, like you're saying, people need to have access in every possible way.
Oh, thanks. I think it froze a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, no, exactly. Creating that access, and promoting that, I think is big, because again, like, opportunities are lost to connect with the community when the focus is on.
I give a point, like Robert Kiriakis made a good point. Like, we're taught only basic stuff in school. So it's like you're not taught how to use money in any way, shape, or form, basically, to empower yourself. And when you understand and do your own research, it does empower yourself in a way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that kind of education is key, because it is important to know, because like you said, like, it's not something taught. It's something most people learn by default, and only because it's like they're forced to. You know what I mean? Like, being out in the real world is different, when you're, after you're grown up and live with your family and go to school. When you're out there on your own, things change a lot and drastically. And so we're not set up to be like, hey, here's how to actually make your money functional for you and really put it to good use, not just being a consumer. But I think that's the biggest thing, though, is that we still use the same terminology, and we still have the same associations with cryptocurrency as we did with fiat. And I think that is a big problem. Like, even just the term money, associating that word with cryptocurrency, I think for me is a negative. Like, those are the associations we're trying to break. That's the terminology we don't want to use. That's why you don't hear it called crypto money. Right. The definition of, between money and currency are very different. But we're so indoctrinated with the word money, with the idea of money. Let more talk on money, less talk on currency. And for those who kind of, I guess, dive into the rabbit hole into what money means and what it is, what it does, what it does not do. Same for currency. They can see, that, hey, these are not the same. Money is essentially meaningless, has no value, no sustainability. More based on actual fiat, fiat usage. But currency can be anything. Could be a service.
Down to what the basics, basically, like, so people understand the utility of trade, where it's like,
yeah,
you do something like what you're doing here. It's just because you're doing this, I would tip you for your action, or because you're doing a good. It's like we're having some type of positive interaction because of you're doing something, it benefits in a way. And so I'm tipping you some LiteDoge for it. So it's like, in a way, it benefits both ways, no matter what.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why I like what is emerging with cryptocurrency and the blockchain, is that we're enabling more, or the systems are enabling more people to do that, to encourage more community, to, really support each other in that way, because that is a great thing. It would be great to not have to depend on YouTube, to try to build up this account to monetize it. Instead, just let people who believe in what I'm doing support me if they want to or not, by donating, LiteDoge, or tipping with LiteDoge or other cryptocurrency. And that, again, keeps the market moving, keeps, like, if I, as a non-holder of LiteDoge, like, it's a great introductory to be able to do that. Like you said, tip somebody who doesn't have it. Now, guess what?
And I'll give you some insight. Unfortunately, I'm tied to the chokehold of CoinMarketCap. And if I want to get updated and listed on there correctly, I basically have to get on a top tier green listed exchange, which trades at either $100,000 a week or a day, basically. So that's the goal, basically, of LiteDoge in the end. So I basically do in the end realize it's about the transactions, what all these exchanges need, but really it's about, with the end user, just getting as many people downloading and using the wallets and interacting and using the wallets. That's what's most important in the end.
No, I agree. I'm looking through the site right now. I love that you're connected with that wallet, and it's called Ubuntu. Um, I've only seen that word on, on the, I mean, I'm sure in the very general Facebook and,
Here's the
post
thing,
meme,
like
whatever.
even being interested in pointing that out. Like, so we with Linux, we only have that version of Ubuntu 16, but the goal is eventually for LiteDoge to make it so there's a static version. So no matter what version of Linux you have, if it's 16, 20, or an older version of Linux, it would still operate, because there's versions of like Bitcoin called static wallets, where it's like if the way you build it, it would basically be compatible on all versions of Linux.
That's cool. And so what was then why'd you pick Ubuntu? I'm
It's
not.
because some people don't know how to build wallets, so we just made it so there's a one Linux version wallet available, at least for some people. But we gave also build instructions. We have a Wikipedia on my GitHub with
Nice.
with all complete instructions how to set up a wallet, how to run a full node on Linux, how to do a lot of the settings, basically how to operate the wallet, basically. So we do have a lot of infrastructure already set up, basically, for people who want to understand the wallet, basically, right now.
That's cool. No, I love everything about, I mean, everything that this is about is totally community friendly. I mean, these are like the things that we need. Especially like, I mean, I love the uses of that system, just because the actual name, I mean, um what it means, you know what I mean? Like it just promotes more community. And for those who don't really actually know, uh the Ubuntu, like it's a term, right? Like it's an actual phrase. What it says, it means like a quality that includes the essential human virtues, compassion and humanity.
Like it's like a core value term, basically, kind of, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
even the word itself, is about the community. And so I love that
It's
usage of it.
funny you mentioned that. I'm kind of very, open, and I've done a lot of studies of cultures myself, and I even understand what that term is, basically. So what it means is that no matter if you're a thief or you're a criminal, part of that, what they do is they take you into a circle in the community, and they all sing you praise, and they sing you, and they give you hope.
Yeah.
Put you in the community no matter what. Like, you're a human being. That's what matters. That's what's
Yep.
important.
No, I love it, man, because that is such a cool
Everyone should be
thing.
treated that way equally, no matter what. Because it gets me passionate. It gets me emotional. Because I feel like everyone should be treated equally like that.
Absolutely, man. I definitely agree. And and I appreciate your passion for it, because that's one thing, like I said, that attracted me to the blockchain itself, is the aspect of community, that no matter who you are, we're all equal. And
Definitely.
and the and the
That's what
blockchain
matters.
and
That's
the
what counts.
yep. And the blockchain enables that. Like it doesn't just, yeah, it's one thing to say we're equal and live in a world where, that's not very true, because the systems that make us, in that create that inequality. But with the blockchain and like coins like this, like LiteDoge, like this is exactly, like we can very literally create that system of equality, that hey, just because this system exists, everybody has an equal opportunity because they can participate in it. And I love, like I said, the whole Ubuntu thing, that even like you said, a criminal or a thief, that instead of condemning and punishing, which is the system we're so used to now, let's highlight and praise. People aren't bad because they want to be. Usually it's their environment, the way they were raised, the type of social conditioning they've been under. So to remind people, like, hey, these are the things that are about you that are your true form. Doing all these things in negative light of the community and people are mostly work against people's own, um they're who they really are. So to get people together and be like, hey, you know what, instead of punishing you, we're going to tell you all the reasons why we appreciate you and all the reasons why we think you're a good person, because that way you enable the person to make that choice. Like, you know what, if they believe that's me, then that's who I'll be. That's who I am. And I like that aspect of cryptocurrency, because again, it gives everybody the opportunity to be their best version of themselves and participate in a community and support others, while being able to get support. I love it that we're in a very win-win-win situation, that no matter your motive, as long as you do good in this community and you help others, you will get help and support as well, or you'll get rewarded for helping and supporting. there's a big incentive to take care of each other. And I mean, it sucks that we've had to monetize it, but it's a start. It's the way we get away from money and the idea of individualism, which being an individual is not, I'm not saying like it's like we shouldn't be, but bringing back that aspect of community as a group of individuals, eventually we'll transcend these ideas that we know now. We'll transcend these systems and we'll just function. We'll just all work together. We'll all provide services or goods or products, and we'll exchange
like
those.
they've talked about in channelings that basically like we're kind of like a capitalistic, neo system basically, but really eventually will become like a resource-based economy eventually, where it's like the focus where it's that the individual is important.
Absolutely.
Not just currency, basically, that and the people are important. That's what it'll be about,
Exactly. And and a lot of people don't realize like the systems that we are living in now, like it's a system that promotes people to, I guess, be more about themselves and be less communal, which is a bad thing. That's why we have thieves. We have, we have all these people doing all these bad things, breaking laws, because like a lot of them feel forced, to do so because they don't have very many options for themselves in a sense. And so allowing a community where, hey, we're very accepting and open, doesn't matter who you are, what you're about, as long as you're willing to be in our community and participate and support one another, like you're welcome. And for those who aren't even, about that, come into our community and try not to fall in love and, take on those ideals. So I definitely am on the same page as you, man. Like I have a big passion for it because I love people. I have a passion for my community, and enabling my community in any way possible is what I'm about. And so having, things like LiteDoge, projects like this are great because, I'm not, I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of resources, so there are things that with this current system now, I can't do to help people. But with projects like yours and like, all these other cryptocurrencies and blockchains, I'm in a position because of my experience and my willingness that I can help other people in big ways by teaching them how to be, self-empowered, by teaching them, the importance of things like LiteDoge, because it's less about the money and it's more about the functionality of real life. Like, hey, you want empowerment? Learn about LiteDoge, learn about cryptocurrencies, learn about the blockchain technology, get involved with the communities. And dude, it's great, man. Nah, I appreciate you for sure. And I just love, and again, it's fun. It's fun, and it's a thriving community for sure.
Definitely, it's good connecting and us going over a lot of this. And if you have anything else you're kind of wondering about, like those, we've been around for quite a long time. Like I said, we had a lot of teams who've been around to kind of used to be a part of the project. There's only a couple of people who are part of my team now. It's basically just me in control. And, I'm definitely looking forward to where things can go from here. I'm thinking that, I definitely want to make it so there's more than one block explorer, make it so there's an Electrum wallet so people can have a mobile wallet. Yeah, I want to make it so there's so many options so people have so many ways to eventually to double check, to verify, and have so many ways to, get to the access to the network, really. That's what counts, really.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. So are there any like what's your current project, or what's like the next move for LiteDoge?
Right now we're updating the main wallet for LiteDoge, and also releasing a new token on the Binance Smart Chain, which will eventually be an open swap airdrop. So people who are holders of old LiteDoge coins will basically get access if they have a Binance coin to trade, and get access to the new token.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm on the Twitter right now. That's awesome, man. No, I definitely appreciate, things like this, and I'm super excited, especially because, like I said, you've been around since 2000. The project's been around since 2015, and having different people work on it, and really getting a core group of people you trust that you want to build this with is definitely essential. So I'm excited for the future, and it's just a lot of fun, man. Like I said, I just like just the name, just LiteDoge. It excites me. because it reminds me of all the things of the currencies that I love. I love Litecoin, love Dogecoin, and I love LiteDoge, man. Like such a good way, to take what's out there
Yeah, I
and
kind of
improve
think
on it.
what it kind of shows, Litecoin had it right. Really, they did the opposite of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was wanted to be slow and secure from the start, but Litecoin wanted to be fast and have as most options to people as they could, and that's what the spirit of like what Dogecoin and Litecoin did. What we are kind of amplifying now, I think, and I think we just want to move forward with that.
Yeah, no, and that's cool, man. And as I mentioned, I'm down to help out and support in every way possible, especially when you need like NFT stuff. I would definitely love to make some like Doge NFTs because like not a lot of people know about it. So I definitely want to help, bring more awareness to it and get some cool art going.
Definitely, I appreciate that, and I could work with you on stuff too, with your projects. I'd love to work with you. So definitely on this will definitely, I know we'll definitely be friends and stay in
Oh,
contact no matter what through the end.
for sure, man. And for everybody watching, like definitely, find out more about this. Like for new people who don't know about cryptocurrency, this is a great way to start. And even for the OGs, this has great utility. So definitely support it. Um, Man, no, I love it. I just love looking at this dog. It shit cracks me up. It's
Like
crazy.
it's kind of funny. We've been around for like 5-6 years, but it's like we're only just now getting our start, basically, in a way. It's like we're kind
Right.
of just our leg up, as they say, in punny style, as they say.
No, and it is. I mean, I think just the blockchain space in general is being revamped, especially because of NFTs. Um, and gamification. Do you have any mind or any plans to perhaps get involved with any type of gaming style like NFTs or cryptocurrency, or is that just something like when you get to a certain point, then you'll start thinking about it?
Well, we need to get more updated wallets available for a lot of these operating systems, because some of my developer friends need to get updated to depend to build these wallets, and so I need some more of a developer fund. So I do have some wallets that I'm planning on trying to develop myself for people, but I do need more of a developer fund. So I'm trying to build that right now through the release of the token, so I can get basically like those like this new space alpha game, like people can look on Twitter, or there's this Minecraft server what I'm eventually going to get like those added on.
That's cool. Shoot, when you do that, man, let me know because right now there's a game on the Wax blockchain in the Minecraft servers in the Minecraft world. It's called Uplift. Um, Corey and the team, great group of guys, amazing people. Like they are just very community driven and on building and growing the community. They just released a bunch of like they created a bunch of liquidity pools with the new token that they have called Blue Deck, and so they're doing a lot to help with coins like this for exposure and support. So definitely something to look into as well. To talk with Corey, um, just because they are looking to partner with like they have, I mean, a huge list of tokens right now that they're providing liquidity for and creating liquidity pools in various blockchains, not just to Wax, but their
Right,
goal is
different blockchains to interact. Basically, I get
yeah,
kind of like what my goal is like with the new token. We want to get that on a bunch of exchange besides just like Pancake Swap, and like they probably want to get like how on their network more than just like a Wax blockchain
right.
coin on their game. Obviously, it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely somebody that you should try. I can try to connect you with because they like projects like this and they want to help support. And not only that, but like I said, they have a game called Uplift in the Minecraft world, and the servers are on the blockchain, so they've monetized the land in their game in Minecraft, and then you can build on it, do whatever. It's just all Minecraft stuff, except you earn Upliftium and Wax for engagement in your game. And I own a piece of land in the game. I just haven't yet to do anything with it. I need to build on it, but that could definitely be something that you should look into as well, especially if you're looking for other projects to kind of work with. I think that'd be a
Maybe
great way.
I kind of feel like I should kind of give some stats about my coin if they do want to interact with the LiteDoge network. So, because how it works is that basically the proof of stake right now difference is at 200 million. So you would need at least 1 million to 1.5 million coins basically to stake at least one stake or two stakes a day, unless you were on a staking pool on the Discord or Telegram, or you used the pool with BTC Pop, their staking pool, where you don't need to have a big balance to gain interest with my coin. Like with the Tipbot, you can deposit 500 or 1,000 coins, and you can start getting a chance to earn a staking interest compared to having 1 million coins. Because my coin has been around so long, it's a harder to earn interest because the difficulty changes every block. So you either have to have a lot of coins, or you have to join a staking pool where people already have a big balance. You can earn the chance with their balance. Basically, that's how it basically works on my network right now.
That's cool. Yeah, man, I definitely am super excited for this and curious to see, all the cool things that'll be coming up. And I would definitely love to promote and help bring more LiteDoge awareness. But it's cool, man. I definitely think everything you have going on is great. I think you're definitely on the right path. Especially just making it about the community and giving that ease of access, because it's coins like yours that those are the kinds of coins where people like me will help educate others on, to be like, hey, this is for, newbies, brand new, Bitcoin babies, blockchain babies, like, get this coin. Here's the wallet. Now you can interact, do things, great starter coins for people who, don't want to shell out, a lot of money to use gas fees, or even just to get involved with, like, as we all know, Bitcoin, you can get invested at any level, but these are the kinds of coins that, you can throw in like $5-10 and be able to utilize it for, an extended period of time, and it's cool, man. No, I definitely appreciate it, and we'll definitely be down to help you create some content. And then whatever content you do create, like, I'll definitely promote it for sure.
Cool. Thank you. Definitely likewise.
Cool, man. Is there anything else like you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered talk about everything. I think we covered a lot of bases on things.
Cool. Yeah. And any questions that y'all have, like, just feel free to drop comments or, reach out to me. I dropped your website on the chat. I'll also, when I go through and edit the description, I'll add like the Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the website's the best because it has links to the social medias and the wallets. Like you kind of showed some of the wallet links. We have all of the social medias at the bottom too, so everyone can get to where they need to go from the website. So everything is right there.
Yeah, I got LiteDoge website bookmarked and ready to go. Yeah, man, definitely keep us updated. Whenever anything develops, whenever you do get a little bit more things worked on, let me know, and we'll do like an update show to see these developments as they happen. And anytime, when you're able or you're ready to do more, I'm working on, being more involved with events. So same as like the Blue Deck and Uplift, definitely be looking for coins like this to kind of help give utility to, or additional utility to make it like, hey, if you're a LiteDoge holder, you'll get a discount, coming to our event, or maybe you'll get like a free NFT from that specific event, or discount on swag, whatever. Like, those are the types of things. Yeah, to build exactly, to help encourage, or be like, hey, you can use LiteDoge at our event to buy stuff. You know what I mean? Like all kinds of crazy shit, or even be given out to where, again, it could be that starter bag where everybody that comes into this event, you'll get a starter bag of crypto. You pay X amount of dollars to participate into the event, and maybe like 25% of that goes into a crypto bag that we give you, a little assortment of cryptocurrencies, like Doge could be one, or all these other ones. So I'm trying to reach out and partner with, various teams and projects to be able to do that, because again, it's a great way for people who don't know about it. Like you said, with the NFTs, kind of just
do that, because I do have paper wallets we could give out too. So if we want to do something like that, we could definitely work something out.
Awesome. I love the paper wallets, man. I remember
they're not the most secure. They do have one bug in it. Some developers have pointed out, but they do have an easy use if you need to transfer coins through the real world quickly. It's basically, the warning I always give is when you have a paper wallet, you transfer the coins into your wallet, and then you automatically transfer those funds into another address. That's my only warning than with every person who uses a paper wallet, just so you understand that technologies, that's my only warning. So people, because there is a bug still with that. So people should always understand that.
That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I remember when I first started getting involved in Bitcoin, I was selling Bitcoin on eBay. You know, it was like 2012, 2013. And I was selling paper wallets. And these paper wallets, all they were, I found images online of like $100 bill. And instead of Ben Franklin, it was Dr. Evil from Austin Powers on the bill. And so I used that to create paper wallets. That was like the image. And then I had a wallet address associated with that. So I would sell these certificates, these paper wallets. And then when the payment came through, I would send the wallet, and on it would be X amount of, I can't remember if it was Bitcoin or Litecoin at the time. But, you'd be able to access those funds from that wallet on the piece of paper, and I would just mail it to people. And I forget how exactly I did it, but they would buy, like, that's what I was selling, were these certificates that looked like $100 bill with Dr. Evil on it and had a crypto wallet.
What bill you made.
Yeah, it's so funny, man. Like, I love the paper wallet, and or even now, even today, I think paper wallets, can have a great application for it. Like you said, even just to get people started. Like, here, this is, transfer these funds out, but you have something that can give you, quick access. So I think that's a cool way to do it, man. I'll definitely love to talk with you a bit more about it in the future, for sure. We're trying to create an event right now in Arlington. We're looking to host a 3-day blockchain gaming festival. Our venue is the Esports Stadium of Arlington. It's the largest dedicated esports building in the world. So we're biggest one that exists that's dedicated to esports gaming. It's in Arlington, Texas. It's super dope setup, real nice place. So we're working on hosting a 3-day event there. We just got our sponsorship packet finished. We're working on promo materials, and then we'll be launching a ticket campaign here pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, but that's what the type of thing I'm looking for, is to just be able to get people introduced to stuff like this, so at the event, like incentive, like Ken Token, I was just a part of that. I'm a part of that project with my friend Ken Bozak. I plan on using Ken Token as, same like I said, like, hey, if you're a Ken Token holder, maybe you get a discount or a special NFT. Like, I haven't worked out the details, but I know providing that cross promotion and that the ability to create more utility is epic, man. Especially with projects like yours.
Definitely, I'm definitely would like to work on on stuff like that. So we'll have to definitely talk about some stuff we could do. I'm definitely wanted to do sponsorships and definitely grow LiteDoge in its name and help people to understand about that it's out there and the ease of use, basically. So definitely, I'm looking.
Yeah, dude. And if you're down, I would totally be down to help you, or to make like some swag, even if it's just like for me and you to wear. Like, I'll be down. I would love to get put that image on a shirt. Like, I love that the hug image. But I'd totally be down to do stuff like that. And it's fun. Like, I love doing that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'll put your logo brand on a shirt and wear it. Like, I love hoodies. So basically every project that I'm involved in, I'm going to make my own hoodie for, just to wear myself. Like, not to sell or anything, but just for me to wear, like.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, exactly, for sure. Like, just to have, that when people ask about it, I'm like, well, it doesn't exist outside of my body, but it gets people interested. Like, I have my Miami crypto experience.
It's like a good talking piece, definitely.
Yeah, just like, the CoinGecko shirt you're wearing. Which, funny enough, we're not working with CoinGecko, but we are one of the top prize pool holders with CoinGecko for an Axie Infinity tournament, which we're hosting at our event. We have been given permission and we're approved to hold an Axie tournament. And so CoinGecko and ourselves, we both we tied for the top pool prize. So they were given 400 Axie and we're being given 400 Axie to give away in this tournament. I'm trying to get them to do an interview with me, but it's hard to get their attention.
Yeah, at least on CoinGecko and Coin Paprika, we do have our coin LiteDoge pretty much well updated with most of the information on those two sites.
That's
So
cool.
I'm trying to keep. It's hard getting those market cap sites updated. Where LiteDoge is literally on like 50 different market cap sites. I have to try and update some of them
Man.
on. It's crazy.
Yeah, I bet that's a good one to be on though, man. Like congrats to getting on there. Like CoinGecko is a great place to get a
Yeah, it's
listing up
definitely
for.
nice that they have like the mobile app for CoinGecko, so you can look
Yeah.
on our stats for LiteDoge on the CoinGecko mobile app too.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate the time, and all the great info about LiteDoge and just the project, and just, I like that you care. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of projects out there which the people don't necessarily care or not, which is whatever. They create projects, they make money. No
I
harm,
think
no
that's why I
foul, but
stuck around because I did care and I didn't want to let the project die and I just wanted to always continue. And I realized then there was so much to it more than when I dived into it myself.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think that's the same with a lot of like essentially creating a cryptocurrency is easy, right? Like just actually making it, but marketing it, getting investors, really creating utility for it and getting it, to be a process of being mainboarded. Like Bitcoin can't even do that right now. Like it's still hard. So like I imagine like the work being to put in it to actually get it out there to everybody and promote in the market and just even the structure, of it, like the back end of it, like the developing, the programming, the coding, like man, that's a lot of work. I imagine like I can't even, I don't even think I'd be able to do that at all. So props to you, man, like for believing it enough to really dive into it and then even just taking on that challenge and just realize like, oh shit, it's more work, but you'll get through it. And once you do, I think, yeah, man, like no matter what, I think this coin will definitely prove to be, long lasting for sure.
Definitely. I think that's what counts.
Yep. Well, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. We're gonna end this stream. Thanks everybody out there. For sure, visit the website, get you a wallet, and get you some light doge, man. Like, and keep an eye out for their future projects and updates. We'll keep everybody updated so that way you guys know what's happening in the altcoin universe. I don't think there's definitely not enough talk about good projects like this, and so I'm happy that you were on board with coming on and talking about it.
Yeah, definitely, Miggy. Definitely. I look forward to more conversations and I look forward to doing this today. So I definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
For sure, man. And definitely I'll try to get like a panel set up where we can just kind of chit chat about, the crypto space. And if I do, I'll for sure bring you in, man. Cause as I mentioned before, there aren't very a lot of people that I've met who have been around this long. Like I get to meet experienced people, but man, there aren't very many people who have been in, for at least 10 years. It's like, as like it's a commitment, like, what it was like all those years getting no support, from a lot of people, not, especially you're talking about the media, the government, the banking systems, friends,
Right.
family, like, man, like 10 years it was a lot to get through and to really have faith in something that nobody gave a shit about. you know?
I had to basically scoff and look the other way and still believe in it no matter what. Basically, it's kind
Yeah.
of crazy.
No, man, and that's why I was talking to this about to somebody the other day that like that's what faith is about. We want to associate faith with just religion, but it's like I mean the fundamentals of it is just believing in something, regardless of if others believe. Seeing the value in what it is, whatever it is that you're doing or associating with, and knowing that to you that value is real enough to stay dedicated to it, and have faith that this will flourish into something even if it's not now. And now, man, like people like you, like that's what, like that's how, like I know people who have been in this long, like they have faith, and whether they're
Mhm.
religious or not, doesn't matter. But man, having that type of faith is very strong, is very empowering. It's such a strong trait to have, to stay dedicated enough to anything, to commit, under your own belief system regardless of other people and their opposition. Like that is such a good human trait. And so that's what I love about this community and meeting people like you. Because regardless of all the other things I know about you or don't know, all I know is like, hey, you stuck it out. You committed in a time where there was very little support for people like us, even from our own family members, like man. So that's why I can appreciate projects like this, because it's like I know people like you who are behind it are going to do whatever it takes
Mhm.
to not just make it work, but make it functional for the community. So thanks again, man. I appreciate you and everybody who got to see this. Y'all stay tuned and have a day.